right. What's going on, everyone? It is Eric here from Total Media Sports, joined in some pretty great company today. The man of many theaters, Big Papa, Josh Willett himself.
Hey, man.
Hey, hopping on the Total Media Sports end of things
Oh,
today.
my goodness. This is crazy because, it's so fun to be around here. First of all, being involved with anything with Total Media and being involved with the sport, with the theaters, man, this is one of the most exciting places ever.
Yeah,
So.
and at the Danbury, we got one of the more exciting Total Media Sports happenings going on this Monday, and we are joined by Scott Dahl, the president and co-founder of the Theater Sports Network, who is helpful in making one of the coolest events, one of the more immersive football events, college football events, one of the more immersive experiences we've seen come to Southern Ohio.
So what's happening with us is that Danbury Cinemas, thanks to Scott and the Theater Sports Network, will officially have on Monday the CFP National Championships presented by AT&T, of course, featuring our favorite Ohio State Buckeyes. And I know that there are a ton of fans out there of Notre Dame as well.
Yeah, Notre Dame for me, going on the back burner. I'm a Buckeyes guy, neither here nor there in this one. Going to be, regardless of which side you're on, it's going to be awesome. But Scott, thanks for taking the time to join us here. This is big for Southern Ohio, the Chillicothe community, and I gotta ask you, of all of these, the ways to watch a college football game, to be immersed in a movie theater, concessions right around the corner. And the thing that I think about is like the sounds of the football world. I can't think of a really a better way to be there, maybe watching it in person. But if I can drive right down the road and be a part of that experience, sounds awesome. Talk to us about it, Scott.
From a pure viewing experience, there is no better experience than this. I know you can't replace the in-stadium feel, right?
Sure.
We drive all this time to experience that community in the stadium. From a pure viewing experience, you're watching the game on a screen in a lot of cases that's the size of an NBA basketball court.
Yes.
You're watching it. Right? You're watching this in Dolby surround sound. Sometimes, right, when those microphones are right there at field level, you feel the hits, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost bone crushing. So this from a pure viewing experience is like something you've never experienced before. It really is. It's so hard to describe this. It's something you have to experience for yourself.
And it's something that I think people in Southern Ohio will take advantage of. I mean, we shared it to some of our social media pages, and we've seen some pretty great feedback already. So people are excited about it, to say the least. How did all of this, the idea, the interest, what made all of this come about, and really the Theater Sports Network as a whole?
So actually, this story, the fruition of this actually is really interesting to this audience in particular. I'm a University of Utah fan. This started 3 years ago when the University of Utah played Ohio State in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, great game.
I wanted desperately to go watch Utah play in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State. The game was on New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. It just from a family standpoint, it doesn't make sense for me to say to my wife, "Hey, good luck with the kids. I'm driving out to California. Have a good time,
Right.
And by the way, I'm going to spend $1,000 in game tickets. The hotel's going to be a couple $100, and so I know the Christmas bills are coming in. Anyway, it just didn't make sense for me. And my business partner, who also happens to be my dad, he was one of the founding CFO of the Chosen television series, if you're familiar with that.
Yes.
Theatrical connections, and I'm kind of more the sports side. We contacted ESPN, did quite a bit of negotiations with them, and we were able to get limited permission to show that game in theaters over the next, the course of the next couple of years, months, and then that turned into years. We established a relationship with ESPN to show college football games in theaters. This is our third year of showing games.
Wow.
So what's important to me is getting our viewers to understand that immediately we start getting messages going, so are you going to start showing pay-per-views? Are you going to start showing the Oscars? Are you going to show? And for us, it's Well, that's where Scott comes in, because he's done the work to make it so you can do events like these legally. and
Which is important.
So the events that Scott's able to put together for us are the things that we will be able to do. And I'm sure that he will be working towards more things as the future goes, but we're trying to do what we can and enjoying the fact that we're establishing a partnership with you. So very exciting to us.
And some exciting things coming, right? I don't have any announcements to make. I'd love to come back on the program and break some, break news.
Yeah.
But as you can imagine, media rights are very, very tricky. Sure. But there are a lot of really, really exciting things in the pipeline for sure.
So, Scott, it's my understanding, not only did you make the call the first time to ESPN, can we air what ended up being one of the greatest Rose Bowls in history? Sorry for Utah. But as a Buckeyes guy, I enjoyed it. I can't say it was the first game that my family and I got to watching our new house, so I'll never forget it as well. Obtaining that expressed written consent, as it's so-called, is kind of pulling Excalibur from the stone. Making the first call probably took some guts saying, hey, can we air this thing? What was it like going back the second time and saying, hey, we had a really good turnout? How do we make this a thing going forward? What was that like, calling ESPN and doing all that?
A lot of back and forth, right?
I can imagine.
There's a lot of parties that need to buy into these types of things.
Sure.
For sure. One of the just a little, to pull the curtain back a little bit. One of the selling points was this had been tried in a limited model by one of the major movie theater chains in the country previously, and they had they had given away about 1,000 tickets nationwide for a game previously. We did more than that in one market in Salt Lake City, is that market, just for that one game, 1 year. Just to compare that to last year for the national championship game, we had over 10,000 fans watch the national championship game last year.
Wow.
Primarily, I don't want to say this word out loud. Primarily, that was in Michigan. I said it. Sorry.
Yeah, we're moving now.
That was in Michigan.
Okay.
And Washington, but I think because we were able to show some success, I think that the ESPN was more willing to engage and move forward. So this is honestly, this is just such a great experience for fans that that it's a no-brainer. It really is.
Well, Scott sent me all this promotional material from last year.
Yeah.
And it's, everything's Michigan. And I said, Scott, I can't use that here.
I can't use it.
I can't use any of it.
Right.
It's fantastic, but I can't use it.
If you can just turn off the video and listen to the sound, it's really good. It's really good stuff. Listen to the all of the fans. I mean, there's one guy who says, when I heard, watching a football game in a movie theater, really? And then I came here, I'll do this again. There was a lady that came and she said, I've been a season ticket holder to a particular NFL team for 20 years. After coming here, I prefer to watch my game Sunday night in this movie theater every week. So it's such a good experience. You're not sitting in a cold stadium seat. You're not waiting in line to use a dirty restroom. You're not driving an hour. You're not paying $25 for parking. This is your local movie theater, likely 5 to 10 minutes away from your house, climate controlled. This is such a great experience. You still get that community, right? I think that's why we go to the stadium, is to enjoy that community feel. You're getting that, only you're sitting in a luxury a luxury movie theater recliner. The cost, you're not paying hundreds of dollars, or in the case of the national championship game, maybe $1,000 for a ticket. You're paying a fraction of that to go. I can take my family of 5 or 6, for less than $100 to watch this game. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's working out very well for ESPN. I think it's working out really well for fans.
Yes.
How is this impacting the movie theater itself? Because that's an aspect I want to look at as well.
And quite honestly, we don't know yet.
Fair, I guess.
Because this is an all new thing for us. We've had people ask about it for a long time, but it's really difficult as, you know, the theater operator to look at people and say, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And you want to. When you have people asking, do you have a movie like you were talking about, The Chosen? Will you have The Chosen? And when you can say, yes, we can have that, it's such a great feeling. But when they ask about something that you really would love to do and you just can't do it, that becomes difficult. So for us, this is very much a trial run.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to get that word out there to everybody. Make your way to Danbury. We also know that there are people in the theater business locally. We have had 2 major movie theaters closed down in southeastern Ohio in the last 2 weeks. And so the movie theater experience in those markets, they've now lost that home. And we're hoping that we can be a home for those people to now, you know, go from being in Hillsboro, Ohio as your home theater and hopefully make your home in Chillicothe.
Sure.
And people who were in Athens going to the Athena Grand and being able to offer this as much as it's in Chillicothe, and it's a little bit of a drive, just the knowledge that we have this in southeastern Ohio. And with the 3 theaters that we have of our own, Danbury, Tri-City, and Silver Screen, if it's a successful venture, then we can move into doing it at 3 locations instead of just 1. So it's very exciting for us.
I love it as a sports guy.
It's and it's just a great building block for us to see, is the interest really there?
Yeah.
So we're excited.
So Scott, I reside in Chillicothe where we're going to be doing this thing. And I got to say, my wife and I were talking about maybe doing the watch party at home. I got to say, I think I'm making my way over to the Danbury. I got to hear what this is all about. I think it's a unique experience. The audio is what has me really interested because down on the field, when you can hear football pads, it's different to being up in the stands. It's different to being at home. So that audio has got me real intrigued. On
one of Scott's videos, he has 2 guys that come out of the theater afterwards who had never met. Did you meet those guys, or can you tell us about them? Do you know?
Yeah, no, literally they just met that night. Their seats, they happened to be sitting, you know, one of them was in front of the other, and they just met that night and exchanged contact information because they were going to watch, you know, subsequent games, get together and watch subsequent games together. So
dudes being dudes, man.
Yes,
I love it.
But
I love it.
It was amazing because it's that environment in stadium, but happening there in the movie theater.
How about this one too? Sorry, Scott, go ahead.
I don't know if you picked up on the number of kids, right? Families that were there.
That was where I was taking it.
And even grandmas and grandpas, right? I mean, this is all ages, all demographics. It's you don't generally take grandma and grandpa to the stadium.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, you know, depending on ages, sometimes you don't take the young kids to the stadium. Sometimes you do, but this is an opportunity to just take everybody. It works out so well.
Yeah, and I could take four little ones. We got 4 boys in our house. I could take 4 little ones into a movie theater without having to worry about my 2.5-year-old throwing a fit.
That's right.
It's encouraged now, Scott, because of the work you've put in. So I love it. I love it. So Scott, I know you said, you know, no breaking news or anything like that, but obviously this is something that's grown for you over the last few years here. Do you have any goals? I mean, you're bringing really cool things to small local communities. First of all, I think that's awesome. Do you have any goals to expand the Theater Sports Network or anything along those lines?
We do. We've got goals. We also this is not just sports, right? There'll be other events, concerts, other types of things as well that we'll be working on. In fact, are currently working on. So. So look for that as well. Obviously, the name of the company is Theater Sports Network, but but the parent company is Theater Events. So so there'll be some of those things as well. We dabbled into a soccer event, so we're working towards some World Cup events and all sorts of things. So stay tuned.
All right.
We understand exactly what that is with our Total Media Sports logo, and then other times you would have just your Total Media as a part of it. So we understand that 100%.
I appreciate the work you put in, but most importantly, I appreciate you pulling the playoff beard out of this guy, Big Papa. You got him running ragged trying to make this whole thing happen. He's got his playoff beard in full motion. So not shaving it till the Buckeyes come home with the national championship.
Good call. I could do that. So I will say, from a theater perspective, we do have we've got a couple specials that we'll be offering there. Again, thank you for helping to motivate us to want to do this. A completely refillable, large popcorn, large pop, and a drink or nacho special for $19. Doesn't get any better than that. So getting people in, having that kind of food available for you. This is not a BYOB event. This is not a bring your own pizza event. This is not those things. It will be the movie stuff that we do offer. So I know a lot of people have asked me that already. I can't bring in a cooler. No, man, it's not a tailgate party.
Take care of it beforehand.
There you go. You can tailgate ahead of time. Matter of fact, I might even let you do it in a side of the parking lot. Just don't tell Chillicothe Police you're doing it, and don't tell them that I gave you permission.
We'll cut that.
We'll cut that out. Great.
Scott Dahl, president, co-founder of the Theater Sports Network. Thanks for taking the time to join us here at Total Media Sports. Thanks for the work that you're putting in to help bring things like this to our platforms. We appreciate it very much. Thanks a lot.
Guys, so happy to join you. And in fact, I may see you at the Danbury on Monday night.
Wow. Okay.
I would love to see that happen.
All right.
We'll see.
All right.
Sounds
Scott,
great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
What else do we need to do, man?
I think that's it.
I think we're great.
We're good. Scott, thank you very much.
I appreciate it so much.
No, I'm so happy to join you. And you guys, this is, again, I said it, and it's the truth. You have to experience this to really understand what it is. It's such an amazing experience.
Yeah, I texted my wife as soon as I found out about it last night. I was like, I think I found what we're going to end up doing.
Well, and you've been very kind to us as well.
Absolutely,
and very helpful. We've been driving you crazy for the last 24 hours with your emails have been off the hook. Yes.
Yeah. So, isn't it so funny how many people want to bring their own food to these things?
Yes. Yes.
So crazy to me. It's one of the number one questions I get from my social media pages. Hey, do you think they'll let me bring in my own beer? No.
No.
I'm not even I don't even need to ask. No, they won't.
Somebody walks in and you're like, why does that person smell like chicken wings?
My question is, why is the movie theater like that one place?
Yes.
Like, you don't go to a bowling alley and go, you think they'll let me take my own cooler? You know what I mean? Like, it's entertainment. No. It's a movie theater. Just watch the content. Get some popcorn.
Yeah, I don't, actually. I don't think they're going to let you do that.
Right. No. Yeah. And again, even at $8 for a large drink, it's still cheaper than you would pay at the stadium, 100%. And it has refills on it. So
right.
We were having that conversation last night, going, this is still, people can complain all they want about prices at a movie theater, but it's still one of the cheapest forms of entertainment.
Seriously.
It really is.
Absolutely.
Well, on that note,
Yep.
My flooring guy is here. Can you get us in the theater?
Well, Scott,
now I'm moving on to my next project, Scott. Remember, I still get to operate these theaters too. So now it's carpet.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Guys. We'll talk later.
All righty.
Bye-bye.